Hello everyone, my name is Miguel Paiva and I'm a member of the Wellness and Health Promotion team here at Sykes Assistance Services. Today we're chatting with Anibal Castelhano, a longtime member of our Sykes family. He has recently made some incredible changes in his lifestyle and is healthier than ever. We've asked Anibal to share his inspirational story as well as some tips and advice on how some small changes can lead to a healthier lifestyle. Nibs, thank you very much for taking the time to meet with us.
Not a problem.
Give us a little bit of background on Anibal. How long have you been at Sykes, Anibal?
I've been at Sykes now for over 20 years, since 1993. In my time at Sykes, I've done a variety of different positions, different roles within the company. I initially started as a roadside assistance agent. From there, I moved on to our home assistance program. I was an agent there. From there, I was given the opportunity to move into a scheduler's role. I did that for a few years. And then from there I moved up into what you call as a team leader of production planning and scheduling role, managing both the roadside and the Toyota departments. From there I moved back down to a scheduler's role. From there a new opportunity arose in the Capital One program. I became a senior team leader there. From there I was transferred over to become a financial analyst for Capital One. And then once Capital One finished their program, I was given an opportunity to move into my current position, which is the contractor relations which is the regional manager for contractor relations for Atlantic Canada and Northern Ontario.
Very good. So in over your 20 years plus, you must have some memorable Sykes moments. Can you share with us?
I have many memorable moments. Some of which I can't really release in public. Due to the censorship and many other things that I just can't say on public television. But the one big memory that I will have is the number of fantastic people that I've managed to work with over the last 20 years, and even my current peers and co-workers that I work with. I've made a lot of friends in my time here, and I appreciate the amount of people that I have met within that time period. So as you mentioned, I've gone through some drastic changes. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a rundown on I guess you could say, my biggest loser story. It all started back in July of last year. My sister approached me when I looked like this. So just to give you a bit of a snapshot, this is what I looked like back in July of 2013. She approached me with an opportunity to join this program called The Biggest Loser through a gym called Rev 3 King, as you can see on my shirt here. And it was a 12 or 13 week program where they sort of teach you some health and nutritional stuff, and you do some exercising, stuff like that. And it was a program my brother-in-law was doing. After a little bit of pondering, I went into the gym. I sat down and I talked to Leah, who's the owner of the gym. She gave me a bit of a rundown on what was involved and how they customize their programs to everybody, because everybody's different. They're different sizes, different weights. They all have different goals, different things they want to approach. So I thought, what the heck? I'll try it. If I lose 10 or 15 pounds, hey, it's a bonus. Plus, I'm there to support my brother-in-law. So if we both lose a little bit of weight, great. And as I progressed through this program, initially when I started the program, I weighed 255 pounds. So as I progressed through the program, the requirements were every Tuesday for about 2 hours. I met with my own personal trainer with the group, and my personal trainer was Shelley. And we would go in, we would weigh in every day, every Tuesday, and then we would do a variety of different classes. And as the weeks came along, the weight started coming off. It started coming off. And every week I got more inspired. I wanted to lose more, I wanted to do better, I wanted to run faster, I wanted to lift more weights. And even for my family, it became a big thing on Tuesdays. My wife would normally take my kids to hockey and soccer because they had practices on Tuesdays. But they would get home and it wouldn't be like, hey, Dad, how are you? It would be like, how much did you lose? How did you do? Where are you standing? Are you still like in first place or second place? Or how much weight have you lost? So, and even then, my wife even got into it because on Tuesdays when I was in class, she was out doing shopping because my body would shrink. She had to buy me a whole bunch of new clothes because all of a sudden all my clothes was falling off and looking really baggy.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. So by the time I was finished, so this is what I looked like when I first started the program. As you can see here, I'm a big boy. By the time I was finished, this is what I looked like. as you can see here, a big dramatic change. In essence, this is how I finished off. So I started at 255 points, 255 pounds. I lost 67.6 pounds. I weighed 188 pounds. So I lost about 26.44% of my body size. And right now I currently sit somewhere between, I'll waver between about 185 and 190. So that's basically how I did it. And then when I completed that race, part of the program, we had to do a 5K kilometer race, which I did with a Santa Shuffle, which is where I got my medallion from over here, as you can see, of which I finished in about 32 minutes. And I did it all non-stop, which was pretty impressive for me, considering I've never run. I would never have imagined running 1 kilometer, let alone running 5 kilometers without stopping. So that's pretty much my story there.
That's very good, very good. So with all this exercising and running, are those the hobbies you enjoy outside of work, or are there others?
Well, outside of running, which I've really taken a liking to running. It's a good way to when you don't have time to go to the gym or you don't have time to go here or there, you can easily just slip on a pair of shoes and shorts and go out for a nice run, and you're getting that exercise because you're getting that movement. But I also do play soccer, and I also help coach my son's soccer team. So that's another thing that keeps me active.
Good. So give us Anibal's favorite motivational quote.
Well, as my trainer Shelley used to say to me all the time in the Tuesday classes, your mind will quit before your body does. And that was true. Many a times I'd be sitting in class and I'd be like, I cannot do this anymore. I am dying here. But she always reminded us, your mind will quit before your body does. And that has always stuck to me, because that is what my inspiration is, to continue to go and continue to go.
Very good. And how do you reduce your stress levels?
Well, outside of running, which I enjoy doing, my daughter's got me hooked up on this funky music stuff. So now I put that funky music in my ears and I go off for a run, and that helps me reduce my stress. Another thing I do is I try to keep active, whether it's active at home. Before I used to get home and I would, grab a bag of chips and flick the TV out, and I'd be a couch potato for the next, 6 hours till I came time to bedtime. Now I try to keep myself active. I do chores around the house, whether it's cutting grass, doing laundry, tidying up the house, doing something around the house that keeps me active. And normally you find that 2 or 3 hours go by because you've just done a whole bunch of stuff, and before you realize it's 6 or 7 o'clock.
Don't even think about it, for sure, for sure. Do you have a favorite meal?
Well, I got to say, one of my favorite meals over the last 5 or 6 months since I've been on this sort of diet plan is sweet potato with ground chicken or ground turkey, with a salad with a couple of teaspoons of balsamic vinaigrette, and of course a nice glass of red wine.
Very good, very good. Now you mentioned before you used to have chips and stuff, but there has to be now a different healthy snack. What's your favorite?
My favorite snacks, one of my favorite snacks, I have a few, would be the protein bar, protein shake. Because to me, it's like having chocolate milk and the chocolate bar. It's the nearest version that I could find to junk food. Would be that. But I've also taken a liking to having yogurt with berries. It's actually pretty good, 100% Greek yogurt, 0 fat, with berries or fruits, grapes, whatever you prefer in terms of your fruit. I prefer berries myself.
Very good. Now, Anibal, how are you able to fit exercise into your busy day?
Well, the one thing I do is I try to make it a habit of going to the gym on a regular basis. So I go probably about 3 or 4 days a week and go to the gym. Because the classes are only 15 minutes long. They're only about 50 minutes long. So they incorporate, basically your cardio, a little bit of core, and some muscle building. So you're doing all of that in a 50-minute span, rather than, going to your regular gym and you have to, one day you're working shoulders, next day you're working legs, next day you're working arms, and you're there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. This is a 50-minute thing. As well, I try to run a couple of days a week. Normally on the weekends, it's when I'll tell to do a run or two here or there. Of course, I play soccer and I help coach soccer. And that's sort of what keeps me active and motivated throughout the week.
Very good. Now, when you go do your exercise at the gym, do you have a favorite exercise?
Oh, I love plate pushes.
I'm
kidding when I say I love plate pushes. One of the trainers at the gym, Jacob, he knew I hated plate pushes, and every time or every opportunity he had to throw in some extra plate pushes when I was there, he made sure he threw in a lot of plate pushes. Thanks, Jacob. I owe you for that one. But I must say, you know, I really enjoyed the classes itself, just because they're different every day. You know, and you're getting the full body workout. So you're doing, you know, you're working your cardio, you're working your stomach and your core area, plus you're doing some muscle building. So, you know, that would be probably one of my favorite exercises, is just going to the class on a regular basis, because it is different every day.
Perfect. Now, what healthy habit have you incorporated into your daily lifestyle?
Well, outside of going to the gym and running, one of the things that I've actually done now is I'm using the stairs. Before I used to take the elevators up or down, wherever I needed to go. Now I take the stairs, whether going up one flight, up 2 flights, around 2 flights, as well as I try to keep active. So whether I'm, you know, going outside for a walk or walking around, even around just the second floor roadside department, you know, it keeps me active there.
Perfect. Now, what unhealthy habit have you given up?
Well, I used to be known as the fast food king. So, you know, Mondays would be McDonald's, Tuesdays would be Wendy's, you know, Wednesdays would be like Harvey's, you know, Thursdays would be like pizza, and Fridays, of course, chicken wings. What I've done now is I've tried to make my own lunch. So what we've done as a family is we've actually incorporated to doing lunches every week. So I try to bring in my own lunch, so I try to make it healthy. So I have, you know, like, you know, I have an egg and some bread in the morning. I'll have some fruit, some snacks, my protein shake, my protein bars, and I'll have a good, healthy lunch.
Oh, very good, very good. Now, with all the exercising you do, there's got to be some mishaps along the line.
Well,
do you have a funny story you could tell us?
Well, yeah, I do. It was one day we were at the gym and they were asking us to do this split press exercise. And this is where you got to try to do the splits, and as you're doing the splits forward, you got to try to raise the bar up. Well, I was so focused on having to do the splits, I didn't realize how close I had the bar. When I went to chug the bar up, I actually rammed it right off my nose. I ended up having a bruise and a couple of scratches. I tried to keep it as quiet as possible. It was painful for a few days, but that was sort of my gym mishap.
Well, if that's the worst that's going to happen, you're okay.
Yeah.
You're good. Now, give us, what have been your keys to success, Anibal?
Well, some of the keys to success is, you know, trying to keep active, you know, watching what you eat, you know, incorporating more healthy foods, you know, more fruits, more vegetables, limiting your intake of, you know, beer or pop, and having more waters, you know, cutting down your sugars and your salts. The big thing is your salt, because salt is a big fat absorbent, and that retains a lot of weight. So that's sort of been the keys there.
Very good. Now, we often hear people saying that exercising or dieting is often expensive. Have you found that with this drastic lifestyle change you've had?
I wouldn't say, you know, I had the initial cost of taking the program, but in terms of the food-wise, not really, because when you think about it, if you're going for fast food every day, if you're having your coffees and your bagels every morning, you know, you're probably spending on average, I would say on average, you're probably spending, you know, between $10 to $20 a day on junk food, let alone what else you buy at the grocery store, chips, pops, etc. So, you know, by making your own lunch, by buying nutritional food, it's cost savings that you're getting there. So you're not going out to eat every day, so you're bringing in your own lunch and you're saving your money that way. So it's sort of an offset one to the other.
Oh, very good. Now, how has your life changed since you finished this the program?
Well, I've been able to sort of spread my knowledge, I guess you could say. The one thing that was sort of a surprise to me, the gym, when we finished our Biggest Loser program, they actually put up a billboard with my picture on it. So I became known as Mr. Billboard at work. So if you ever happen to go by the gym or in the area of the gym of Hyde Park in Gainsborough, or Hyde Park in Sarnia Road, sorry, you'll see this picture. And I'm this guy over here. The guy in the middle is my brother-in-law, and the gentleman over here is Dave, and he's actually the gentleman who won that Biggest Loser program. So we finished in the top 3. So that was pretty exciting. You know, I never knew I would be famous by this. But in terms of other impacts, you know, I've been able to spread the word of my successes. Like I had my cousin who did the previous Biggest Loser prior to the one that's going on right now, and he was really successful. He actually lost 81 pounds in that program. And what we did at the end is we had to run a 10K, which I've never run in my entire life. but I do have a medal to show you for, because I ran the Forest City Road Race, and I actually ran a full 10 kilometers without stopping. Now, my goal when I was doing that was to try to get under an hour. So try to finish under an hour. I actually finished it in 57 minutes.
Very good.
And I currently have a few more family members and friends that are doing the current program, including one family member who's already lost about 35 or 40 pounds. So he's already on the road to success as well.
Very good for him. Very good. Now, before we finish up, Anibal, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, it's been quite the challenge for me to go through this process, but I wouldn't be able to do this process by myself. I needed a lot of help. I got a lot of support from my wife and my 2 kids. Not only was my wife able to assume the responsibility of a dual parent by taking the kids to hockey, to soccer, and everything else, but my kids were really supportive. Like my daughter, for instance, she actually went and ended up taking a program through Rep 3K because she was looking to get in shape for her soccer season. So she ended up doing the Revolution, which is a miniature-sized Biggest Loser program, which is actually a 6-week program. And she ended up losing 15 pounds. And she's running faster than ever now.
Good.
As well, I need to thank both Leah, Jacob, and Shelley, the trainers of Rep 3K, for continuing to inspire me and continue to want to see me succeed and continue to lose weight. And of course, everybody at the gym, the Rep 3K family, for their support, because without them, give me those pats on the back and give me the cheer and the go forward, I wouldn't have had that opportunity, wouldn't have the get-go. But last but not least, the Wellness and Health Promotion team for allowing me the opportunity to tell my story to everybody out there. Hopefully I can inspire everybody, or inspire even a few people to succeed out there. Like I said, if you're interested in the Rep 3K program, they have 2 gyms now. They've actually just recently opened up a new gym on the Mount on Windermere, and they have another gym which is over on Hyde Park and Sarnia Road. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can inspire a few more people.
Maybe that's great. Again, I'd like to thank Anibal for sharing his inspiring story with us. You've shared some key points for us being successful and trying to make a little bit of a healthier lifestyle by giving us a couple of points regarding taking the time to prepare healthy foods on the weekends so that you can prepare and have stuff ready for the rest of the week, including the whole family and making it a fun event, making physical activity a priority, and in your life and your family as well. We wish you continued success and all the best.
Thank you
very much.